Motherfucker.
We are back from a month or so of not podcasting. A month or so?
An unexpected hiatus.
In which I went to America, me, Sam, hi, and Josh.
And I moved house. Hi, I'm
Before
Josh.
I went to America. No, I'm only joking. Okay. I'm only joking. Yeah, you must have had a lot of unpacking and stuff to do, because I came around and it wasn't all fully done, was it?
No, so it's all unpacked now, but I did get the TV set up and then it kind of slowed down a lot.
Naturally. I mean, the first thing you do when you move to a new house is you've got to get your TV set up.
Absolutely.
It's an essential part of the moving process. That's what I did. Didn't bother with my bed. It's like, if I don't get my bed set up on time, I've got my sofa. I'll sleep on that until I get my bed set up. But the TV is the first thing. It has to be. When I moved into my current place, the internet was so crap that it didn't actually reach my room. So I was just like, I don't know what to do. What background noise can I have whilst I'm setting everything else up? So I stuck Lord of the Rings on.
Nice.
Good decision.
You probably got very distracted there then.
I did.
Yeah.
I ended up with a pizza, just sat watching Lord of the Rings.
Some say he's still unpacking to this day.
It's true. It's not true.
Yeah, I had about 3 weeks of no Wi-Fi.
Oh.
But luckily, I have unlimited data on my phone, so I just hotspot off there.
Modern problems require modern solutions. Exactly, yeah. Yep. But yeah, America was great. Thanks for asking, Josh.
Good.
I ate a lot of food. I drank a hell of a lot of alcohol. I was going to say beer, but I didn't just drink beer. I was drinking vodka every night, and I don't like vodka.
No, I thought you were just like a beer man yourself.
I like a lot of drinks. It's just vodka especially I detest, but I grew a bit of a tolerance for it whilst I was over there. I got one hangover whilst I was there.
It's because the beer's like piss water.
Not if you drink a lot of it, which we did. I mean, we were going through like crate and a half, maybe 2 crates a night sometimes.
Nice.
Which, yeah.
Probably what,
we were drinking
cans?
a lot of the PBR, Pabst Blue Ribbon, who are an award-winning American beer. And do you know who gave them the award?
Who?
Themselves. That's a true story. Wow. That's what everyone was telling me when I was over there. They were like, how are you liking the PBR? And I was like, it wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad beer. It's just when you live in England and you get the treat of such good quality stuff that gets imported from other countries, because English beer for the most part is shit. But
ales and stuff.
We do good ales. Yeah. Lagers, we don't really do good lagers. But yeah, they were saying, how was the PBR? And I was like, it's pretty decent actually. It's all right. It's going down easy enough. And they were like, yeah, they gave themselves the award. And I was like, cool.
So Everyone, welcome to the award-winning film and TV podcast, Radioactive Screen.
Yep, the award, the Radioactive Screen Podcast Award, sponsored by Radioactive Screen.
Although, on a serious note, if any sponsors are out there, we are looking for sponsorship.
Right back into it, I like it. Yep. You've not lost your knack for grovelling.
No, I'll never lose that.
But yeah, it's good to be back. It feels good. I feel good.
Yeah.
I feel like I would prefer to be in America still, no offence, but it's just a better way of life over there. But, you got to make the best of a bad situation, and here I am, podcasting.
Why don't we just move to America and podcast over there?
Well, funnily enough, we should do that.
Funny, yes. Yeah. Let's do it.
There was
I'm on board.
A house opposite my cousin's place where I stayed. I think it was 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom, I believe. I think, if I remember that correctly. Guess how much, Josh?
I'm guessing it's going to be something ridiculously cheap. So, like, in pounds, 300 grand?
No.
Cheaper?
In dollars, 170 grand.
Seriously?
Yep.
How?
Yep. Exactly.
How?
Exactly. It needed a little bit of work doing, but it's livable as it is at the moment.
Fuck me.
Yep.
Jesus.
Yep. So where we live in York, for anybody who may be listening from outside of York, you could probably not even get a 1-bedroom flat for that price, which is about 150 grand.
Where I used to live, a 2-bedroom terrace house was about 175,000.
Yeah.
So yeah, you couldn't get anything for what would be the equivalent of $170,000.
Yeah. Whereas if you live in Doncaster, you could probably get a 4-bedroom house for about 30 grand.
No, you could get a mansion, yeah. You could buy Doncaster.
Yeah, probably. Not that you'd want to buy Doncaster. Hi, good fellow loyal fans from Doncaster. Please stay loyal.
And we've lost all our fans now.
Yay.
It's just us talking. No one's listening. And, yeah. Should we just start a separate podcast talking about, I don't know.
How much we love Doncaster.
Yeah.
They've got the Doncaster Dome.
It's close to Sheffield.
So there's an out. I actually do like Donny Dome. It's got ice skating.
I've never been.
It's got slides. Alan Shearer went there. I'm trying here, Doncaster.
Well,
I'm really trying.
You know I love all the sports, so I'm sold.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I knew that. Right.
Should
we are a film and television podcast.
Should we finally start
Yep.
talking about film and TV? I'll start with coming out Guns A-Blazing.
Guns A-Blazing.
With the biggest news that we've had so far.
Right.
In these 4 weeks.
Yep.
Tomb Raider 2. It has a director.
Pointless film.
Ben Wheatley.
Is he the guy who was in Specfall?
No, Ben Wheatley's director.
Is he just a director? Well, I mean, you do get actors who are directors.
Ben Wheatley did Free Fire.
Ah, well, I did enjoy Free Fire. Oh, no, I was thinking of Ben Whishaw.
Yes.
Oh, Wishaw, sorry.
So yeah, it's got a bit of talent behind the camera, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, I saw the first Alicia Vikander one. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong.
She's probably not listening.
True.
Hashtag Michael Fassbender's wife.
Yep. That's a good, attractive power couple right there, isn't it? Like, their children are going to be very, very good-looking children.
And we've all seen Michael Fassbender's penis before.
Have we?
Shame.
Does he get out in that?
I'm not shaming myself, but yeah, you do see his penis in
I can't
Shame.
remember. I've seen that film, but I can't remember his penis.
It's clearly stuck with
Well,
me.
I'm going to have to go back and rewatch it now. But yeah, I saw the first Tomb Raider. I thought it was crap.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not beating around the bush there. Didn't really enjoy it. It's just one of those films which, A, probably didn't need to happen, and B, it did happen, but it's just, the script was just bland.
I just thought it was bland all over, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I feel like Tomb Raider is not one of those franchises that need a film adaptation.
Mm.
It's kind of like if they adapted Call of Duty or something.
Which they planned on doing at one point, didn't they? Yeah.
But it's just going to be a generic war film
Yeah.
at that point.
Pretty
Because they're
much.
basically generic war games.
Yeah. And the one thing that actually makes the Tomb Raider games sort of stand out is that they embrace the mystical side of things, whereas the film, they went, no, we're not doing that. It's all grounded in reality, which just doesn't make sense for that kind of film.
So yeah. Pointless, basically.
So, I mean, good luck with the second one, but...
Ben Wheatley's a good director. They kind of need to go with the mystical side.
Free Fire, as good a film as it was, didn't really have a lot of weight to it. But then again, he did direct
Kill List,
which was excellent.
That gained quite a cult following, I think.
Yeah, it's good. It's very, very odd, and I can understand why it was a cult classic as opposed to an actual classic. But yeah, it was a good film. He also did High Rise, which was massive pile of garbage.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd seen the reviews for it, and I was a bit like, nah, because that was when I can't think of his name.
Tom Hiddleston.
Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah.
It was like at his peak as Loki, so everyone was kind of like, ooh, what's he going to do next? But yeah, I've heard good and bad stuff about that film, to be honest.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't recommend it?
What, High Rise?
High Rise.
No.
Yeah, I don't think he's done much else, has he?
No, not really. Nothing. A couple of Doctor Who episodes, I believe, which we all know my thoughts on Doctor Who.
Not a fan of it.
No, I mean, no.
Peter Capaldi's in the new Suicide Squad as well.
Is he?
He's come out and said that
James Gunn directed.
Yeah.
He
has gone completely bald for it, and because he's wearing a lot of prosthetics. I wonder which character he's playing.
Yeah.
So it can't be like a human character because all the prosthetic makeup. I'm guessing.
But I mean, there's not...
Screw it, Brainiac.
Yeah. Apart from James Gunn directing, there's not really that much known about it, is there? Apart from it, yeah.
No, because
Taika Waititi's now part of it, which... I mean, I actually think that is going to be good, because I really highly rate James Gunn as a director, and I think he's one of them people that can't really do any wrong, Twitter accounts notwithstanding. But then again, that was a whole massive, stupid...
I mean, that was like 10
piece
years
of crap
ago.
Anyway,
so.
Yeah, I think it's going to be good. Like, none of the original cast are returning from the David Ayer one, are they?
Well,
David Ayer, David Goyer, one of them.
David Ayer.
David Ayer. I got it right first time. Never second guess yourself.
Wrote it.
Right, okay.
He wrote Dark Knight anyway.
Yeah.
David Goyer. I'm excited for it, and I do think it has potential to be good, but I think completely leaving out the original cast is a bit of a waste.
Yeah.
Because, like, Joel Kinnaman,
great actor,
wasn't given wasn't
lot
given
to work
anything
with.
to work with. No,
Margot Robbie could be a perfect Harley Quinn. Unfortunately, the script and the costume department massively failed the character.
Man, they are doing that Harley Quinn.
The Emancipation of One Harley Quinn, which looks fucking awful.
Yeah.
The only thing it has going for that, I think, is the casting of Ewan McGregor as Black Mask.
Yeah, they're going for a very like Suicide Squad look, like the original one.
Work.
Doesn't gel with me, to be honest.
But yeah,
we'll see.
But just as a side note, whilst we're on DC as well, Shazam arrived to my 4K, and I rewatched that twice.
Ooh, nice.
And I'm just like, they did so well with this, but it's just a massive shame because now where do they take it? They can't take it anywhere. You've got Wonder Woman coming out and obviously the next Suicide Squad film. And like we said, there was supposedly a lot in the works, but I just don't think, apart from what's actually already in production.
I think Joker's proved that they don't need a movie universe.
Yeah, kind of.
Because for the reviews for Joker, hail it as a modern classic. So on board.
But the thing is, the Joker has always been pitched as a standalone, whereas Wonder Woman is then again part of that wider universe. Shazam was. Aquaman 2 is meant to be. Suicide Squad, James Gunn's Suicide Squad is meant to be as well. They just need to reboot completely and either start with Batman or start with a relatively unknown, like what they did with Shazam.
Part of me agrees, but part of me wants to keep the actors in the roles.
Yeah, but well, I mean, we're also going to have Arbats, aren't we?
Yeah.
That script is finished. I think that came out the other day. Hope that's not
I read
a bit
it yesterday, but
news
the script
that
is finished now.
That you've got lined up for later on.
It was.
So, well, we'll move on to that one now then. So the script for Arbats is finished. It's called Batman Arbats.
Yep, they've changed it from The Batman to Batman Arbats Sparkly Batman.
Yep.
And I'm quite excited for it, to be honest. I think it's 2021 it's coming out.
That's quite soon, really. I mean, it'll go into production in the next couple of months. To say he was only just announced as Batman, but then again...
No, that gives him quite a lot of time, to be honest.
Yeah, I suppose, and the script had already been being worked on when it was Batfleck.
Yeah.
They'll have just had to retweak bits.
Well, no, I think when Matt Reeves came in, he completely did a rewrite.
Right,
and
okay.
it's been through so many scripts, like...
Which doesn't bode well for it in general, but I mean, it's all about, when a director firmly gets put on board, how the production goes from then on, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but I mean... Warner Brothers.
Matt Reeves is a great director, to be honest, because in my 3 weeks that I didn't have any Wi-Fi, I played the Planet of the Apes game.
Oh, right.
Which isn't really a game, it's like you make decisions and then the story plays out like that.
Right.
But it's really got me in the mood for watching like his Planet of the Apes films because it's set in between Dawn and War.
Yeah.
And they're just great films.
Trying to think what else has he done apart from the Planet of the Apes films, because I enjoyed them. I don't really get the massive following that they've got. I thought they were pretty decent, fairly standard films, just in general.
I just think Andy Serkis' performance is top notch, possibly as good as when he was Gollum.
No.
God knows he's better than Snoke.
Oh, he directed Cloverfield. I never knew that. Yep, I'm in. I don't know why. I always thought it was actually JJ that directed it at Cloverfield, but no, he just produced
it. Yeah,
fair. He hasn't really done a lot, has he?
What else has he done?
Massively well known. He's done.
I know.
So his first big one was Cloverfield. Then he did Let Me In, which was the remake of Let the Right One In. The Let the Right One In was brilliant. I never saw the Chloe Moretz Let Me In version. And he's literally just done 2 of the Planet of the Apes films
and a few TV episodes before that.
TV episodes, yeah, but
then the Batman. So it all rests on his shoulders.
Well, that kind of... No. I mean, in a way, that kind of reminds me of the whole Rian Johnson Star Wars thing, because it's not as on a bigger scale because Star Wars is fucking huge and Batman has been done poorly before.
Yeah.
So we'll give it that. But when Rian Johnson got given the director's helm for The Last Jedi...
Yeah.
And you sort of look back through his body of work and you go, well, he's only really done Looper. What makes him think he's going to be able to... That kind of sings of that a little bit. Cloverfield, I'll give him it, but just 2 War of the Planet of the Apes films?
It's kind of like when Josh Trank was meant to be doing a Boba Fett film. At that point, all he'd done was Chronicle.
Yeah.
And Fantastic Four was in development at the time, which had one of the worst productions possible, I think. So then they kind of just booted him. I mean, if your director's a psychopath, you don't really want that.
No, not really.
But again, studio interference and all that
Yeah.
probably doesn't help.
Yeah.
I think that's where they've gone wrong with the DC franchise so far.
They've done many, many things wrong.
Well,
They've
yes.
taken many missteps, which we've detailed in great detail on
Our other
many
episodes.
of our podcasts.
Yeah.
So
Go back and listen to them if you fancy it. I will say that in my 3 weeks off, I did watch a couple of TV shows. Good Omens.
enjoy it.
I really enjoyed it. I don't understand where you're coming from, saying it all rests on David Tennant's performance.
I didn't say it all does. I said he is clearly the most talented out of the bunch. And
I don't see it,
yeah, fair.
if I'm honest.
Fair.
I don't think he was any better than Michael Sheen was.
But don't get me wrong, I wasn't saying Michael Sheen was bad. Michael Sheen was great. Michael Sheen is always great. I just think David Tennant had so much personality in it that he was just, you're just there, you go like, whenever you're watching him in a scene, you're like, you are watching someone really special, like at the top of their craft kind of thing. But that wasn't to say it takes away from the rest of them. Let me clarify that. And I'm hoping the next words out of your mouth are going to be, I also watched The Boys.
I did.
Yes.
Yeah. Fucking brilliant.
Absolutely
Oh my
brilliant.
God.
Yeah. So I watched the first episode of The Boys on the plane from Heathrow to Chicago. And spoiler alert, right now, if you haven't watched The Boys, the first episode ends with a plane crash. So I was like...
That wasn't the first episode.
No, it does.
Was it?
Yep. So there's 2 plane crashes in the film.
Oh, okay, right.
Yep. You remember now?
Shit.
Yeah. So I was just like, well, I'm not going to watch the rest of that for now.
I mean, at least it didn't end like the other plane crash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I'd have watched that one, I would have probably had a panic attack on the plane.
Yeah.
In my total travel time, I watched Murder on the Orient Express. That was on the train to London.
And what did you think to it?
It was all right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't
well,
mind it.
I actually enjoyed it.
We're doing a sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll happily go see the sequel.
Well, I say sequel, it's set in the same universe kind of thing.
Yeah. I'll happily see it. It was decent. It was good effort. And yeah, Kenneth Branagh, talented director / actor.
Yeah.
I watched on the way there. Had to watch Endgame because it was on. Had to do it. And then I watched the Lego Movie Part 2.
Okay.
Great.
Yeah.
Just as good as the first one.
Yeah, really.
None of the charm really lost.
Really enjoyed the first one and Lego Batman.
Oh, Lego Batman was brilliant.
Yeah.
And then on the way back, I watched Creed 2. Garbage. Pure garbage. Nothing good about it. Literally nothing good I can say about that film. I was bored out of my mind watching it. I was trying to sleep.
I really enjoy like the Rocky and Creed films, but I understand where you're coming from with Creed 2.
I really enjoyed Creed 1. The first Creed that I did. I was surprised at how much I enjoyed it, but the second one, it was just like, this is pointless.
Because the second one is basically 2 hours of drama and 10 minutes of boxing.
Yeah.
And the drama doesn't really go anywhere.
No, at all.
Because it involves Ivan Drago being really angry and then at the end just being like,
they're like, oh no, we're happy now. You got beat, but we're happy.
He's
and
learned
then
to love his son or something.
Then I also watched Fighting with My Family.
Any good?
So I hate wrestling. I despise wrestling. Even when I was a kid and everybody else loved wrestling, I hated it because I'm weird and different. So edgy. And I absolutely loved Fighting with My Family. I thought it was brilliant.
Yeah, but it's not really a wrestling film per se, is it? It's more the drama side of
it's but it's a
story.
Yeah,
is it
it's about the wrestler's story, but obviously wrestling is very, very heavily.
Well, yeah,
it's a part of it. That's what I mean, because I didn't really have any interest in wrestling. I thought it might be one of those where I'm just like, I don't really care, like, you know. But no, it was a really well done, really good story. The lass who plays her was brilliant. And Lena Headey plays her mum.
Oh yeah.
Nick Frost is brilliant in it as well. But do you know who weirdly steals the show? Vince Vaughn.
Who does he play?
He plays basically the talent scout.
Okay, right. Yeah.
He steals the show.
Oh. Yeah. I really enjoy
It's the emotional heart and soul.
Wow. I know Vince Vaughn can do comedy, but I've not really seen him in.
No, well,
else.
the one real time he tried to move into a serious role was True Detective Season 2, I think. I don't know if he'd done much serious. Well, Jurassic Park 2, I guess, could be considered a bit more serious than what he was usually used to, but that second season of True Detective absolutely bombed, didn't it?
Yeah.
Critically, anyway.
They've just done season 3 and that seems to be a lot better.
Yeah.
They're saying.
Yeah. I mean, I do mean to get round to watching it, but...
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
it's one of those shows that's on my list, but the list is always growing.
Yeah, ever growing.
And I don't think I'll ever even put a dent in it, to be honest. Because I've finally watched The Boys. I've finally watched Good Omens. Great shows.
Mindhunter as well. I got back and watched all of that.
See, I need to watch that.
Mindhunter's great. Definitely. It's David Fincher.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So,
I've started watching, just because it's like a light-hearted, well, not really light-hearted, but just like a comedy kind of thing, Disenchantment.
is that the Matt Groening one?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
It's pretty good so far.
Yeah.
Reminds me a lot of Futurama.
Fair.
Yeah, which I quite miss. It's on Amazon Prime now, so I've been watching Futurama.
What Futurama is?
Yeah.
Ah, see, I remember they only did 4 seasons, didn't they? And then it came back.
Yeah, and then it got cancelled again and then brought back again, I think. They did like 10 seasons of it.
Did
altogether.
they?
Yeah.
Jesus. Didn't realise that.
So, moving back onto the news.
Yeah, good.
We went on a bit of a tangent.
Massive segue there, yeah.
Seeing as we were talking about like Tomb Raider and franchises that really don't need adaptations.
Is this going to be Uncharted?
Uncharted!
Yeah,
yep.
I guessed it.
It's lost its director. Tom Holland's still involved. Tom, leave.
That's definitely... See, that's going to be one of those films. It's definitely... I'm calling it right now. It's going to happen, whether it's needed or not, but it's going to happen, and it's going to be probably exactly like Tomb Raider. It's going to come out, it's going to make a load of money, it's going to get critically panned.
Tomb Raider didn't even make that much money.
Did it not?
No. For some reason, they greenlit a sequel.
It's going to be the same. It's going to be the same. It's going to get critically panned. People who are fans of the video game will be torn. Half of them will really like it. Half of them will be like, this is crap. Most people who haven't seen the video game but have gone to watch it will be like, this is crap. And then it'll somehow get a sequel.
Yeah. I think we should just move on from there, to be honest.
Yep.
Because that's all we can say about it.
Pretty much.
I just don't want it. Just adapt the first game. Do that. Don't have Tom Holland in the role because he's too young to play it. Because I don't think he suits that character at all, to be honest. But, Hollywood studios wanting to make a franchise that'll last a long time. So go with a younger actor, essentially.
Yep.
Moving on. We got the first trailer for El Camino.
Yes, we
the
did.
Breaking Bad film.
Yeah.
I say trailer. It's more just one little scene from it. Skinny Pete saying that he won't give up Jesse.
Yep. Well, doesn't know where he is.
Well, yeah.
That's out next month?
Yeah. 12th of October.
I'm
skeptical.
I loved Breaking Bad, but I think Vince Gilligan's kind of gone against his own principles in a way. He ended Breaking Bad at season 5 because he was like, I feel it's the perfect time to end it and I don't want it to outstay its welcome.
Yeah.
And then he did Better Call Saul, which was awful, unnecessary. You knew everything about Saul you needed to know from Breaking Bad. He wasn't a character that you could expand. And now he's doing a film about Jesse Pinkman when the ending for Jesse Pinkman was pretty much perfect.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know where he's going, what he's doing, but he's free. He's finally free of it all.
As much as I say, like, Breaking Bad is one of my most favourite TV shows of all time, I don't want to see any more.
Yeah.
And I know this is probably going to be quite good. Maybe.
Probably be decent, but I don't think it'll be anything special. I think it'll just kind of be one of those where you're just like, it's not tarnishing the memory of Breaking Bad, but it's like, why bother?
But it does risk tarnishing the memory. That's the thing. I just think it's completely unnecessary.
Yep.
As much as I kind of am excited for it now.
That's almost worse than it being expected to be crap in a way. Because, like, if you go into a film expecting it to be bad, sometimes it will really surprise you. But if you go into it expecting it to be unnecessary, 9 times out of 10, you come out going, yep, that was totally unnecessary. Case in point, the textbook example would be Solo.
Yeah, true.
Entertaining enough, give or take certain aspects. But coming out of that film, you just go, yeah, it was all right, but just didn't need to fucking happen.
Well, yeah.
And I think this is going to be exactly the same.
Probably.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just don't want to see it. Well, I do and I don't.
I mean, yeah, I'll watch it.
I'm conflicted.
Yeah. You never know. We could be totally wrong. Hey!
Yeah. It's probably shot really well, at least.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, Vince Gilligan's really good at that.
It probably looks good, if anything.
Yeah.
But I don't really know where they can go. I mean, just say Need for Speed was the sequel to...
Weird thing about it is that Bryan Cranston is in it.
I think it's going to be flashbacks.
It must be flashbacks. It has to be.
But in films, when they just go to flashbacks, I find it really irritating.
Depends on the film.
Yeah, true. Yeah. But if they over-rely on it, then it's just going to be a bit pointless.
Yeah. And Breaking Bad, the TV show, wasn't... Oh, they never really had flashbacks in that. I think they had a few in the last season. They had the odd one, yeah. Yeah, but like very rarely.
I mean, they had flash forwards.
Yeah, they had flash forwards, yeah.
Yeah. But
we'll see come October, whatever the first, second...
11th.
11th, that's the one.
I said 12th, but 11th, yeah. And Netflix are upping their prices from October 1st.
Oh,
Bastards are doing it sneakily.
Not the best way to compete with Disney Plus Netflix, but there you go.
To me, the content's getting worse as well.
Yep.
So
the content's getting worse over here. Going back to my wonderful trip to America, fucking so much on it. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's not fair. Just release it all over here, you bastards.
I remember when you could like download a VPN and then just watch for American Netflix, but now they've banned you from doing it.
Yeah.
I think there's certain ways around it.
There will be. It's just risk, isn't it?
Yeah. So, moving on to Star Wars news.
Star Wars news!
So, The Mandalorian. The storyline is reportedly going to explore the origins of the First Order.
Okay. Right.
So, I think that's quite a good idea because that kind of just pops up in episode 7 we're the new empire.
Yeah, pretty much.
So I think it makes sense to have like a series that focuses on the origins.
Yeah. Even if it's not like the main thingy, but like there's hints to it in the background.
I think that's what it'll be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to The Mandalorian. I thought the trailer looked great.
Yeah.
And like it doesn't look like it's kiddie Disney stylized version of Star Wars. It's like, no, this is adult territory.
Yeah.
Like,
it feels like the original trilogy.
In a sense, yeah.
More like, I'd say.
But I mean, that still had its humour.
Yeah.
So I think that's sort of like, it might just be a little bit darker than that. That bit where he wires the guy's leg, trips him up and brings him through the door to chop his head off.
Yeah.
Oh, that's in the trailer, by the way, guys. So
yeah, like, do you think the door shut on his head?
I think it did. Or his body.
Oh.
And it cut him up and stuff. Like, oh yeah, delicious. We like a bit of that. I'm
We
wondering how much...
We like a bit of dismemberment.
Yeah. I'm wondering how much FaceTime Pedro Pascal will actually get.
Apparently they're not showing his face in the first series.
At all?
At all.
Holy shit.
Which I think is a good way to do it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Kind of like how they did with Dredd then.
Yeah.
Not showing the character's face, because do you remember the Sylvester Stallone film?
Yeah.
Where
he had a clause in his contract, didn't he, where he had to have a certain amount of FaceTime.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
I mean, that was just a bad film in general, to be honest. I feel like we should just watch bad films and just review them.
Well, there's so many of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Unfortunately, we may have to. I'm not saying we're gonna, but we may have to illegally download it because it's not going to be over here, is it?
No, apparently we're getting Disney Plus next year. But they've not announced the release date for it.
Brilliant. Are you going to be getting it?
I feel like I pay for enough as it is already.
Same here, but I probably will. Because it's only going to be about £5-6 at the start, supposedly. And I can justify that, even if it's just for Obi-Wan.
Speaking of like Netflix and stuff, if it gets any worse, I'll probably quit.
Yeah.
And I'll just get Disney Plus, to be honest.
Prime is fine. Prime has been, you pay for the year or you pay $7.99 a month and that's it. And it's been like that since they invented it.
Yeah.
That's great. But
they've never raised the prices for Prime, I don't think.
Netflix, because I remember Netflix started out at, $5.99?
Yeah.
And what is it at the moment? Mine's $9.99. They're moving it up to $12.99.
$11.99.
$11.99.
But yeah, so there goes our chances of being sponsored by Netflix.
I'll sing praises about their prices if they sponsor us because
then they might give us it for free.
Yeah, we get it for free, peasants. You don't, but pay for it because then we get money as well. I mean, not now, but that'll be my ad pitch for in the future if you're listening to Netflix. Move on.
radioactivescreen@gmail.com if you want to get in contact. And going back to Star Wars and Disney Plus,
yes,
we have some more news that you kind of spoiled earlier. But do you want to announce this one?
So, I can't remember what conference it was, or con that it was.
D23.
It was D23. Right, okay, so D23, the devil herself, Kathleen Kennedy, was on stage, and she managed to redeem herself slightly by bringing on a little-known fella by the name of Ewan McGregor. Now, Ewan McGregor was asked by Kathleen Kennedy if he will be playing the role of Obi-Wan again, to which he answered,
yes.
Yes! So it was thus announced that we are getting, at long last, the Obi-Wan Kenobi TV series with Ewan McGregor back as Obi-Wan Kenobi. And I tell you what, I've never had such a large respection in my entire life.
Respection?
Respection.
So it's set 8 years after Revenge of the Sith.
Yep.
As well. So it's probably going to be Obi-Wan on Tatooine.
Possibly, yeah. Not a lot is known about the script at this time, but they say it's almost finished.
It's basically Obi-Wan going about his daily life,
yeah.
You know?
Just drinking some blue milk.
Yeah.
No.
There's no drama. No. It's just Obi-Wan just on his own, just living in a cave.
Still be better than The Last Jedi and Solo.
Oh.
Because it's Obi-Wan.
I mean, yeah, true.
Yeah. But no, there's rumours that it might be him
starting cantina fights and...
yeah. There's rumours that it might be him dealing with some of Jabba's bounty hunters that are after the moisture farm.
I think
there's rumours that he will actually be going off-world. I
think they did something similar in the comics with like all the different like factions and stuff. The underworld kind of thing.
Yeah, there's a rumour that it's him who finds out about Darth Maul's crime group empire and goes off-world to just sort of like take them down, which then leads to Maul coming to Tatooine. What happens in Rebels, I believe.
Yeah. Oh, that makes sense, yeah.
So, I mean, they could go anywhere with it, really, but I'm just glad he's back because Obi-Wan is my joint favourite character of all time.
And who's your other favourite character?
Spike from Buffy.
Buffy, yeah. So. I'm so on board with it.
Yep. We've been calling for it for so long, it'd be stupid of us to go, it's not necessary!
I mean, to be honest, it's probably not necessary.
No, it's very necessary,
but
Josh. I will hear nothing. I will not hear any of that negative energy. Okay, I'm a pessimist, but about Obi-Wan, I will be the most annoying optimist you'll ever meet.
Let's wait to hear about the story first.
Don't care, it's going to be amazing.
Okay. I mean... Yep. Should we just end this podcast now?
Yes.
Because, we'll tell people about Obi-Wan.
So the radioactive podcast will no longer be. It's now going to be called the Obi-Wan Kenobi podcast, where we talk all things Obi-Wan Kenobi. Yep.
So, Ewan McGregor.
Back. It's back.
Yep.
Can't wait.
About his daily life.
I'm not going to be able to give any sort of properly coherent sentences about this because I'm just so excited for it. It's like I'm a big kid all over again and it's Christmas and I've got the present that I always wanted and never thought I would get.
I kind of hope they include Darth Maul in it. In some capacity.
Cool. If they did a live action version of the fight that they have in Rebels. I think it can only be one series.
It's probably going to be a mini-series.
Yeah.
I think.
Maybe it could be one, maybe two at absolute maximum, because without really aging him to make him really look like Alec Guinness, it can't really go on for too long.
I think the only Star Wars show that's been announced so far that could have a second season is The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Because they've also got the Rogue One.
They're still doing Cassian Andor, aren't they?
Yeah.
Which that is totally unnecessary. Mm-hmm. His character in Rogue One was bland as hell.
Yeah.
And it was just like, who the hell wants to know more and see more of this guy? They've got to really step their game up for that to have any interest.
He might be the main character, but I'm guessing it's going to be something to do with the origin of the Rebel Alliance.
Possibly.
Something like that, but I don't think we need
Alan Tudyk will be back as K2SO, won't he? Which is fine, Alan Tudyk's great.
Yeah.
But that show's completely unnecessary. The Mandalorian is great, or looks to be great. And it's just something because it's unknown. That's what's great about that. Only reason that an Obi-Wan Kenobi series is getting away with it is because it's Obi-Wan. If it was any other character,
so many fans,
or they could do it for a couple of the characters, but most of them that already exist within Star Wars, they would just fall flat because you already know everything you need to know about them.
We need more Qui-Gon.
Yeah, I literally about to say that you could do a Qui-Gon origin, you could probably do a Mace Windu origin, but
Qui-Gon has like heartbreaking origins.
He does, yeah.
Well.
Is it still canon though? Did they include that as canon? It's very hard to I can't follow what is canon and what isn't nowadays. But they seem to just want to pick and choose, don't they? They're like, none of this is canon except when we go, well, that was good, so we'll bring that particular bit back. They've done that a few times, haven't they?
Yeah. So should we move on to episode 9?
After this one last thing.
Okay.
Obi-Wan!
Okay, Obi-Wan!
Let's go, yeah.
So episode 9.
Hello there.
Hopefully it has Obi-Wan in it.
Well, yeah, that's what's rumoured now, isn't it? Since Ewan McGregor's been announced for the TV show, that he'll probably make a brief cameo in Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, okay.
So D23 again, they had some extra footage. It was just another teaser, so we still, as of yet, haven't had a full trailer for the Rise of Skywalker, which I think they've actually finally done it right. Because you remember when The Force Awakens came out and they released the teaser, then they released a full trailer, then they released a second full trailer, and then they released about 13 or 14 TV spots.
Yeah.
And it was like, too much, stop it.
Well, they're going to do that.
I know they will, but I'm hoping they don't. Because they did the same thing for The Last Jedi, but for The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, the teasers were in April for both of them.
Yeah, because when The Last Jedi teaser came out, I was on holiday on a cruise at the time.
I was in Newcastle watching a match, and I couldn't watch it until I got back home because the reception was so bad.
So I was in like the bar and stuff, and I'd seen on my phone that it was out, so I was like, I'm just going to go to the toilet and give this a watch.
I did that for The Force Awakens. I was at work.
Yeah.
I was at work, and I was like, I've got to go do something in the cellar. One of the beers is gone. Just watch the Star Wars trailer. I was in there for about 15 minutes rewatching it, pretending I was working. It was great.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're in September now and we haven't had a full Rise of Skywalker trailer.
Just a couple of teasers.
Yeah.
Well, that wasn't even a teaser. It was just old footage.
Old footage apart from, 30 seconds, 45 seconds at the end?
Yeah.
Great. And I tell you what, I was disillusioned with where they're going to take this final chapter of this particular trilogy. It's piqued my interest again. I'm all for it.
So I'm all for all the footage except Dark Ray.
Yeah, so
I feel like Dark Ray's a red herring.
I feel like it is. I feel like it's going to be like Luke's vision in the cave on Dagobah in Empire. I think it's going to be a Palpatine projecting this into her head. I think this is going to be what happens when they're on the ruins of the Death Star.
Yeah, that was my thought for it.
Yeah, I think that's everyone's thoughts for it, really.
Or what if this is the rumoured Sith acolyte that Matt Smith was meant to be?
Nope.
It turns out it's like a dark version of Rey.
Nope.
And
just because Matt Smith.
Not having Matt Smith. Instead, it's like a dark version of Rey.
Possibly.
Like how in the comics they had Luke.
Oh,
the clone.
yeah. See, I don't think they'd do that.
We can get Rey.
I don't think they'd do that.
No, they wouldn't. No.
But I know I shouldn't hope, but I really do hope that Rey does turn to the dark side and Kylo stays on the dark side, because that's what they've hinted at.
No.
They've hinted at it.
Because it wouldn't make sense for them to just do it in this film. I think if they did it in The Last Jedi, fair enough.
No, but they haven't. It wouldn't be in this film. The groundwork is there for Rey to turn. They've done it since they did it since The Force Awakens.
Yeah, but
they especially did it in The Last Jedi.
I feel like if she was going to turn, they should have done it in The Last Jedi.
I disagree there. Because then, what's the third film going to be?
Kind of the Resistance versus Rey and Kylo.
Yeah, but
although then again, I think I could just wipe out the Resistance.
Yeah,
at
probably.
that point.
Yeah. Which is why. So this is what I mean. This is why I'm hoping, because if they do actually, first and foremost, I wouldn't mind as much if Rey doesn't turn, as long as Kylo stays bad.
Yeah, I don't want.
He has been the absolute peak of this trilogy of The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. He has been brilliant.
Yeah.
And he's been the best character by a country mile.
No, Snoke.
He had the potential, but thanks, Rian. But so him to stay as dark would be perfect. If they were to turn Rey dark as well, and that's how this trilogy ends, I think would be perfect.
What, and then it sets up a new trilogy?
Yeah. For not straight away, 5-10 years down the line, hopefully I'll still be alive by that point, but hopefully that's how they sort of set it up. That I think that would be perfect.
But what would the next trilogy be about? Would it be about
then they can do
then
they could do the redemption story of probably Rey, maybe not Kylo.
That feels like a waste, Phil.
No, I don't know. No.
So she turns bad in
or
one
like
trilogy.
I say, there's someone else who comes in.
Just good in the next. Let's say that. I think it makes sense having it the way that you suggest, because then, they can keep the franchise going.
Yeah. Which is what they'll be looking to do anyway.
Oh yeah.
I don't think Star Wars will ever die.
And it makes it, that is the end of a Skywalker trilogy series.
Yeah.
We're moving on with, I don't know, what would it be next? The Rey series. The Kylo series.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, Kylo is technically a Skywalker, so.
Technically, yeah. So.
But
we don't know who Rey is, but apparently we're going to find out.
See, and I'm hoping my theory is going to be confirmed. I've had this since The Force Awakens.
So,
Rey is a Palpatine. Say it with me, guys. Rey is a Palpatine.
Did you see the poster for...
Yes.
Why did they use a toy version of Palpatine?
Are we talking about the same one?
Mm-hmm.
Rey and Kylo on the thingy, and then
Palpatine's over him. Yeah. It's like a figurine version of Palpatine.
I'm going to Google this, because I can't really remember. Hang on.
I mean, maybe that's what he is in the new film.
He's just a toy.
He's just a little figure.
It's Robot Chicken.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
No, I don't see what you see in there.
Right, let's see.
He looks a little bit airbrushed, a little bit too much airbrushed, I'll give you that, but I don't think it looks that bad.
Does that not look like an animation, at least?
A little bit, but then again, it's only a poster.
It's not Palpatine. It's not. It's definitely a toy.
But it's just a poster.
It's a poster, but...
I mean, if you zoom in on Kylo on it... Oh no, he's got his helmet on, that's why. It kind of looks like a Wookiee. But you zoom in, it's his helmet.
Okay.
I'm glad his helmet's back.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, bring on December.
Bring on December. Yeah, I mean, there's not much else I'm excited for film-wise this year. Like Joker. Ad Astra looks quite good.
Ad Astra looks good. I've got a list on my phone, actually, of films that I needed to see.
Because you were saying before we started recording that you'd seen It Chapter 2?
Yep, I saw It Chapter 2. I also went to see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood as well.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
And your thoughts on them?
It Chapter 2 is alright, nothing special, bit bland in places. Not really a horror, but I don't think the first one was really a horror film either.
Okay.
But if you're a big fan of Stephen King adapted films, then you'll probably enjoy it. But if you're just a critic, I guess, then you'll just think it's a bit underwhelming.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, not his best, not his worst.
Okay.
You could take 45 minutes of stuff out of that film and it wouldn't make a difference to the plot in any way, shape or form. There's a lot of filler. I guess that's been Tarantino's style anyway, but it kind of felt sort of like the same as The Hateful Eight in that kind of sense, where it's you're like, this is a bit of a slog. I'm enjoying parts. There's other parts where you're just like, it's good, but it doesn't need to be there. But what I will say about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is the last half an hour, 45 minutes or so are absolutely spectacular. It just all of a sudden goes, right, here we are. And you're like, holy shit, this is brilliant.
So it kind of goes, oh wait, we need to wrap up this story. Let's
not even wrap it up. It's just like everything's dialed up to 11. All the way through it, you are literally just like, right, I'm just watching DiCaprio and Brad Pitt, two absolute masters of their trade, being just fucking brilliant. And as much as I love Brad Pitt, DiCaprio is probably my favourite actor, possibly of all time, but Brad Pitt steals the show completely at the end. Steals the show. If you're a Tarantino fan, it's just well worth the watch.
Yeah.
But be prepared to sit through some stuff that's kind of not necessary in the film.
I think he has kind of gone that way with his writing style, at least. Like, Hateful Eight was a lot of...
Yeah, Hateful Eight, I remember I said it was almost like a love letter to himself. But I have only seen it the once, and I do plan on revisiting it, because it might be one of those where I watch it again and unlock this hidden sort of, wow, that was fucking incredible.
I enjoyed it as a whole.
Yeah.
Like Hateful Eight.
And that's an interesting...
Still not seen...
Interesting one that we could do maybe on a future episode or in a video. Our rankings of Tarantino films.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Because I was just going to say what my favourite one still is, but I won't just in case we do it.
I've not seen...
Keep your eyes out for that. The only one I haven't seen is Jackie Brown.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, well, maybe we can watch that together.
We can.
Yeah, we got so much content for you guys that we're going to promise you and hopefully try and deliver this time.
Yeah, we might deliver, we might not.
Yeah.
It'll be like when I said that I'd podcast while you were away.
Yeah.
But when I moved...
good old life gets in the way, doesn't it? Yeah.
Fun times.
Which is why we need sponsors so we can do this full time and really have fun with it.
Yeah. Give us money, guys, please.
Yeah.
I've not eaten in weeks.
I have. Oh, American food.
Here we go.
Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff.
I mean, you don't look like you've piled on the pounds.
I've played 4 games of... No, 3. Well, yeah, 4 games of football in the past 4 days to fucking run it off. My body is in a lot of pain right now. When I got back, I was literally like, oh my God, what have you done to yourself? Oh.
Worth it, though.
Worth it.
Worth it.
Worth it. I love you, Buffalo Wild Wings. Please come over to England.
I feel like I need a trip to America.
You do.
Yeah.
Everyone does. Yeah. I'm going back.
So we'll move on to, like, I think we'll do this as the last bit.
Yeah. Is this... I know what this is.
Yeah. So we finally have...
a bit of crap news after Star Wars. We should have had Star Wars as the last.
We should have.
It's fine. We'll go with it.
I didn't plan that far ahead, if I'm honest.
It's fine.
So we finally have a title for the 25th James Bond film, and it's not the sexual harassment scandal.
Oh, we got it wrong.
Like our video on the YouTube channel suggested.
Yeah.
Which, if you haven't seen, guys, go and watch.
Nice.
Because it's an interesting watch.
Yeah. But do you know what I think about this news?
What? So the news is that the 25th Bond film is titled No Time to Die, which at first when I heard it I was a bit like, well, that sounds like a shit title.
Yeah.
But now I think it kind of fits in with the old Bond films, like From Russia with Love, You Only Live Twice, No Time to Die, kind of fits in with that.
It fits in, it's just, you know, my thoughts on Bond. I have loved Bond. Bond has loved me.
Bond's loved many people, to be honest.
Bond has loved many people. Yeah, no, I've loved Bond over the years, but I just think it's at its end. It's past its sell-by date.
I do. I agree with you in a way, but I'd be sad to see it go.
Yeah, they would have to do a pretty drastic reboot to justify it sticking around, but they already did that with Casino Royale, which was by far and large the best Bond film, but then it just got stale.
Well, to be honest, I think
1 film later.
I think the reboot they tried to attempt was Quantum of Solace, because that was completely different to...
No, it was Casino. Casino was the reboot. It revitalised the trilogy, and Quantum was just crap.
It did, but I'd say they tried to make Quantum like an action film. Just an action film, no story, anything.
See, with Quantum, they tried to make it Jason Bourne.
Yeah.
Which didn't work, because it wasn't Jason Bourne, it was Bond. But Casino, like, it was the reboot, because they stripped it down. They went...
Yeah, they kind of went away from all the silly
Forget all the
gadgets.
campiness, forget all the, the crap gadgets and stuff. Let's just focus on story and character, and it really, really worked. And then if they'd have continued within that vein, because it's almost like the follow-up, which was Skyfall, should have actually been the Quantum, the Casino sequel, not Quantum.
Yeah.
Because Quantum just doesn't feel like a Bond film, apart from the one scene at the opera, which was really well done.
Yeah.
And it was just so out of place in this mess of a film.
Generic action film, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I'm kind of worried that this is what this Bond film's going to turn into.
Well, if it's anything like Spectre, Spectre was so unbelievably forgettable that the only thing I remember was how he basically sexually assaults a widow on the day of her husband's funeral.
Yeah, but it's not
Bond,
really one of the smartest decisions of the franchise, is it?
No.
I mean, it's no, trying to look Asian. Like
no, of course. Well, I mean, it's close, but
pretty bad. Yeah,
not as bad. No.
So, No Time to Die, April 3rd, 2020.
We've really sold that.
Yeah.
Oh, we're getting a job with Sony, with Netflix.
I mean, if I'm honest, I don't really want a job with Sony, not after they've fucked themselves with the whole Marvel deal.
I suppose, yeah, that's the last tiny bit of news thrown on the end here, which we were throwing out the other day after the whole. So basically, the time to renew, it wasn't even the time to renew. So at Marvel, at Disney just sort of went, we want a better deal now.
Yeah.
And Sony went, no, we won't be held to ransom over it. Which, in all fairness, yeah, but so then Disney threw their toys out of the pram and went, well, we're not doing anything with it then, you can fuck off.
Yeah.
And Sony went, all right, fine. So it is actually kind of all Disney's fault.
It is, yeah.
But what they need to do, I mean, Sony have come out and said, it's not totally off the cards, we just won't be held to ransom over it. Disney have come out, Kevin Feige has come out and said...
It's off the cards.
No, he said he remains optimistic that something can be worked out. Tom Holland was fuming and he wanted something to be worked out, and then all of a sudden was like, I still think it's in good hands with Sony though. So basically they forced his hand and made him say that.
Yeah.
But so both parties remain optimistic that a deal can be done. I just think the real future is if Disney just went, oh fuck it, let's just front them the cash and just buy the character outright. Like,
yeah,
that's what they've got to do.
There are quite a lot of characters that Sony have the rights to.
Yeah, I know.
So I don't think they would just buy Spider-Man.
No, I don't think they would, but I think it's the time. If they really, really do want full control of Spider-Man, then it's time to buy him and not be working out some sort of deal.
Yeah.
Because the sticking point was that Disney wanted over 50% of the merchandising, didn't they? Or they wanted 90% of it or something daft like that. Which, in all fairness, like, Sony cannot make a good Spider-Man film anymore. They've tried it and they just can't do it. And to be honest, Venom was a massive pile of garbage. So film, from a film fan's perspective, they're not in good hands with Sony. But I actually do understand where they're coming from.
Yeah,
I don't think Sony have actually done anything wrong here.
I think Disney were getting way too bossy with it.
Yeah.
With it all. And I can see why Sony would kind of want to pull out of that.
Yeah.
I don't think Spider-Man can really continue as it was, like at the same caliber.
In the hands of Sony.
In the hands of Sony,
no,
yeah.
not at all.
I mean, another bit of news.
They have to work out a deal because this way Spider-Man Homecoming ended, and we know that particular version's story isn't over. Even if it hadn't have ended like that, there's still a lot more to be done with that character.
Yeah.
And Tom Holland's only, 24? Something like that? 23?
Too young.
Something like that. So there's definitely time there. Sorry, go on.
So, Sony Pictures have announced plans for the Spider-Man universe.
Yeah.
They're developing 5 or 6 TV shows, apparently. Yeah. I mean, I like superhero TV shows and everything, but it's not going to be Spider-Man, the TV series, is it?
No.
It's going to be some minor character.
Yeah.
It's Aunt May, the TV series. Right. Did you know...
They might be able to do the Miles Morales Spider-Man as a TV series. Yeah.
Did you know that when they were planning Amazing Spider-Man 2, they also planned an Aunt May spin-off in which she was a secret agent or something?
Jesus Christ.
I am so glad they didn't go ahead with that.
That's it. That's Sony. I don't know what they're doing.
I have no idea on what to do with these characters. Apparently they're also bringing Spider-Man into the Venom.
Yeah, see, they were talking about that for ages. They wanted Tom Holland as Spider-Man in Venom with Tom Hardy. And it's how would that work?
To me, it doesn't gel because Tom Hardy in the Venom film wasn't a villain.
No, he wasn't.
But in the comics...
He is.
Well, in the comics, he's more of an anti-hero.
And also, it doesn't actually... I mean, the Venom film in general, if you really want to go into it, doesn't work.
No.
Because... the whole reason Venom exists as we know it is because of Spider-Man. He gets the look off Spider-Man. And yeah, but all of that. It's like the whole argument about Joker not working, the upcoming one, no Batman doesn't make sense. Joker exists because of Batman. But obviously, apparently that's incredible. So we'll wait to see with that. But
we'll need to see that.
Yeah. But yeah.
But yes, Spider-Man, it's going to be a ruined franchise, I think, if Sony continue. Try and continue with that.
It already was, and they just kept rebooting it. Well, if at first you don't succeed, reboot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well. I think that was a good attempt at being back podcasting, and
we'll get better, guys.
Segued massively like 3 times, so
that's quite good for us.
Yeah.
We'll get better, guys. Honestly,
and we keep promising this, and we never do it, but we'll keep promising it if at first you don't succeed. Reboot. So I've been Sam.
I've been Josh.
This has been Radioactive Screen. Go follow us and like us and do all the social media stuff that we ask you to do.
Even though we don't really post anything.
No,
we really need to get back into it.
We'll get better.
We'll get back into it.
We'll get better. Bye.
Bye, guys.